Hello, welcome to arrowcody, introduced by arrowcody, the YouTuber. Now, we are going to do a live cast for y'all. First time for everything, right? So I want to see how many people we can get to watch this live cast. Okay, sorry about that, y'all. Now we're gonna get to watching this video, and we're gonna go live casting. Please click a like below if you enjoyed this video, and share with your friends, and share with whoever you feel interested in sharing it with. And hold on a minute. Let me get this settled down. Let me get this ready for y'all. All right, y'all. So enjoy my live cast. We are going to set this off today. We're going to set off my YouTube channel for everyone to watch. Yes, this is arrowcody live. I'm broadcasting live. arrowcody, please subscribe for more content. Please share this video if you enjoy. Please click a like if you want more content like this. Okay, first of all, we're going to talk about livelihood. What is livelihood compared to life? What is livelihood compared to living? Livelihood is basically the traditions and the falls of faults and aspects of living towards somebody else's opinion instead of living towards your own understanding and spiritual awareness of growth, and collecting yourself and motivation to strive and perfect yourself, to understand that perfecting yourself starts with understanding your livelihood of your own tradition and your own culture on behalf of beautiful blossoms that shine like the color of the stars, to grow and strive to beautify yourself in spiritual and mental and physical state of being. Now, we're going to talk about the likes and dislikes on why people don't like livelihood and why tradition is a false that is causing confusion, mayhem, and religion pushing on somebody else's behalf of belief that's causing people to be confused, hated, wanting to cause mischief and mayhem because nobody knows the true meaning of livelihood. Livelihood is a tradition. It's a false. It's a myth of a white lie that causes people of religious beliefs to cause them to fall from the grace of their own God and what they believe in and standards of their own understanding. So it falls from the grace of collecting yourself, motivating yourself, getting the motivation to never give up and never give in into tradition. What you got to do is skip all that tradition away, all that livelihood away, and better yourself mentally and physically through mental exercise and emotional exercise and physical exercise in order to balance your emotion and self-concentration of focus to build up character and respect through spiritual awareness. Life is basically the difference of livelihood is basically living towards what is, understanding for what is, the purpose of the reason behind the purpose and the reason behind the purpose of reason, and collecting your thoughts and your momentum of living life to the fullest expectations of your own expectations and not through somebody else's eyes or their own expectations, but going through spiritual awareness awakening through your own belief and your own way of creating opportunities and not circumstances. Life is more than just the tradition. It's more than just the system of living, as well as living is the difference between life and livelihood is that life is basically about understanding life, connecting with life, being connected through nature, spiritual awareness, awakening, your chakra, your energy, your inner being, your spiritual awakening to connecting to a higher power and a higher consciousness beyond truth, of truth, beyond that truth. And life is more than just basically just a way of reasoning and comprehending something. It's cooperating and comprehending of understanding each individual's quality and purpose of life is different. Life is more than just it's more than a way of gratitude. It's a way of living to the fullest expectations of your own expectations and not through depending on somebody else's opinion or belief, but following through a way of better understanding your spiritual awakening, your awareness, your physical strength, your mental strength, your status, and creating opportunities for others to grow from that, to see and be inspired by you through the actions you do. So the more good you do, the more good you receive back in return. Life is a journey. It's not just a lesson learned in time. It's a journey that each individual must behalfully comprehend his own understanding to understand his God or his behalf of belief to create his own opportunities of his understanding of individual spiritual being and creating a way of a path that doesn't go into darkness but goes into enlightenment, acknowledging realization, actualization, and enlightenment of empowerment to better their self spiritually, mentally, and emotionally through Zen meditation or Tao Te Ching, which is known as energy source from the heavens that come from God. Basically, what we need in this world is not depending on somebody else's belief or behalf of their own understanding, but depend on yourself to save yourself. My papa always told me, only you can save you. No one else can save you, but you save yourself. They can point you and guide you to the directions to take, but each direction and what you take is different from each individual, which means find your own path. Find what makes you what you are. Find what makes you happy. Don't depend on others to fully collect yourself or motivate yourself through somebody else's eyes, because really, to be honest, they don't care about you. If they care about you, They be trying to help you, make you better, and help you understand your true values and qualities to blossom like the flowers in the lily of the valley, and not be so closed-minded, or be like a flock of birds of being lost in the middle of nowhere. And to be honest, life is more than just, it's a way of creating a better you, a better individual understanding, and a way of enlightenment. So, like, what I'm trying to say is, you want to be open-minded, you want to be open-hearted, to take in consideration that you may not be always right about everything because of somebody else's opinion or what they told somebody else. Life is more than that. And if you can't understand that life is more than the knife of the edge, then you can't understand the behalf of the other side, that how beautiful it could be and how much happiness you can receive by doing good for one another and doing good for yourself. Life and truth is basically, truth is different between livelihood and life and all that. Truth is basically finding your own truth, finding your own destiny, your desires, your pathway. The gateway to heaven is through the journey of the eyes of your own understanding. The realization of actualization of comprehending that acceptance is knowledge, and acceptance of defeat is spiritual knowledge. Learning that you're not always right, and that you can always strive to become something bigger in this world, more than a symbol, more than a man, but a legacy, a legend, an inspiration for somebody else's spirit, for somebody else's understanding and growth and spiritual knowledge. Life is a lesson, but it's also a life of gratitude and a wave of oh yeah. No. So basically, remember that. Just remember that life is more than just somebody else's perception of you, a perspective of who you are or what you think. Life is beyond that. And if you can't understand the other side of the beauty that comes from life, and the beautiness that comes from the life of the edge of the sword, which is the shield to shelter you from the negativeness and the evilness that is in this world, then you'll never understand truth, and you'll never grow from that truth to better yourself spiritually and mentally. Basically, all this learning, all this gratitude, all this perception of perceiving somebody else's view, you don't need acceptance for that. You need to accept yourself and accept who you are as a spiritual being, but also accept that God don't care what you wear on the outside, what you look on the outside, or what you wear. You can be baggy, you can be homeless, you can be whatever, poor as could be. God don't look on the outside appearance. He looks on what's on the end of the heart. What's on the end of the heart is life, breath of life, love, compassion, curiosity, generosity, forgiveness, have mercy, beautiful qualities, and generosity of equality. Everything in this world is life, breath of life. We should take it at a grain of salt and grow from it, and not be assaulted by other people's behalf and opinions and belief. We should find our own destiny, our own desires, our own treasures, of what creates and makes us get to where we're going in life. If we depend on other people, then where we're going, we'll end up where everyone else is going. Absolutely nowhere but hatred, pain, frustration, stress, anxiety, and pushing aside for what is and not accepting it is like defeating its own demise. That is the confusion of evilness. And that will cause us to fall from the grace of our God. We need to realize that God is not a label. He don't need a Bible to tell him who he is. He don't need a son to tell him who he is or what his purpose is for us, and our purpose and our reasoning behind the purpose behind the reasoning. God looks on the inside, and the only actions of good that we do for others will save us. If we don't do good and we don't think good thoughts and we don't behaving in good attitude of gratitude and creativeness and gentleness, and we don't show the love and care we need in this world, then we're going to fall from the grace of God and not enter the kingdom of heaven. Just be on the sight of knowing this, that religion is what divides us, and knowing that God is perfect and does not need a son to sacrifice everything that he is or what we are to save us. Knowing this is spiritual awakening and knowledge beyond knowledge and spiritual beyond spiritual. It is a way of God's destiny, desires, a pathway to God in heaven itself. Knowing that not everyone's going to believe what you believe in, and accepting that everyone's belief is different and beneficial to them in a different way. Just because I don't believe the same way you do doesn't mean I'm going to hell. I'm going to be totally honest with you. Hell don't exist. Hell is what you image it to be in your thought, and what you believe it makes it real to you. That is hell. That's what I believe in. Hell is developed by the actions of doing wrong to others. Hell is developed by what you do, and how you treat others will determine your future of hell tomorrow. Remember that. Life is more than that. Life is a beyond understatement. And God is beyond understatement. He does not need a status and statement to be labeled as something when he is perfect and has no label. He don't need a label. He is God. He is almighty. He is beyond God. He is perfect beyond perfect. He has no wrongs. He is perfect and knows what we are from the inside, and knows our heart and our life and our love, that we are more than what we think we are. There is a life beyond this life, and I believe that cold-heartedly. But I also believe hell is only a delusion to those who want to accept it and have it in their life. Hell is what developments of commitment, of dedicating yourself to evil, negative thoughts and behavior. That is hell. That is hell beyond hell itself. Hell is not a fiery pit. To me, hell is a darkness of emptiness, nothingness, pitch blackness, pain, and misery. That is hell. That is hell beyond hell itself. And to me, I believe heaven, earth, and God is the only thing that exists. Why do I say this? Because if I say hell exists, then I'm thinking negative thoughts and negative energy will flow to me and come to me and create me to have bad behavior and depend on other people's behalf of opinions about me, instead of accepting what God made me to be and how to succeed and do righteousness of goodness in this world. So what I'm saying is, God don't look on all this other crap. He's looking on what's in the inside. Be yourself, express yourself, be free for who you are. Believe in something bigger than just self-imaging. Believe the reflection staring back at you is the image of God. God is beyond all behalf of all existence. And for this reason, I say seasons change, reasons change, but nothing can ever change through God's eyes when we're all equal in his name, because we're all the same. God doesn't care what you believe in, doesn't care what you do. All he cares is that you do righteousness of goodness, love, compassion, and good works in this world to show that he lives within us, and that we can grow and strive to better ourselves mentally, physically, emotionally, and help those inspired by us through God, through us, to help inspirate somebody else to save a life and better themselves mentally, physically, emotionally, and spiritually. God is beyond imaging and reflecting. It is a symbol of leadership, hardship, and respect, and courtesy. That is God. God has mercy because he knows nobody's perfect. If we only depend on other religions and depend on religion, period, what are we really faced with? Absolutely pain and suffering and hatred towards one another. But if we can learn to accept that defeat is inevitable and effortless, that Spiritual knowledge comes from defeat and accepting who we are and accepting what God is. For God himself says, your self-knowledge and awakening is spiritual awareness. This is the power of God enlightenment, knowledgement, awakening, chakra energy of connecting through life, after life, beyond life. This is what we call the eternal youth. Nothing will ever pass but live forever. That is the way to believe. This is the way to understand. This is the way to enlightenment. I gave y'all guidance, directions, and pointers on what truth is and beyond truth. This is the way to accept and live forth a better you and a better understanding of God and how to live with God and not against God. There you go. Now y'all know. Now y'all can live. Now y'all can be happy. There's some knowledge I share on y'all. Hopefully you take it with a grain of salt. Pinpoint the points here and there. And put the puzzles together in pieces. And find your own destiny, desires, and what benefits you and your God and what you believe. So we can all strive to grow and live in happiness and better and save a life ahead of time to have a brighter future ahead of time. Thank y'all for listening to this video. Hope y'all learned something. Click a like if y'all enjoyed down below. Share with others and inspire the world to do better and grow and strive and not depend on others. Depending on God you trust and united we stand. That is the God that we all know and love. God don't care on what you wear on the outside. It's what's in the inside of the mind and thought and the process of how we access ourselves mentally, physically, and emotionally. That is God of truth and God beyond truth. Thank y'all. Click a like below if y'all enjoy. Dislike if you don't. Share with others. Follow and subscribe to this channel. And enjoy y'all's day. Thank y'all for watching.